Hey guys, welcome back to Diary Bookaholic. My name's Dorothy and today we have my weekly reading wrap-up where I talk to you from day to day during the week and sometimes have spoilery thoughts about the books I read that week. This is Monday morning, so let's go over what I've read this past weekend. First off, did finish Wonderland Woes by Addie J. Keene. This is probably going to be a 4-star read for me. I really did like it. It's not a favorite of the series, but in this one we follow Janie and the crew as they go into Wonderland. A bunch of shenanigans happen and Janie has to use her law degree that she's currently trying to get because she's in law school and figure out how to save herself and all her friends from magical beings. Like I said last week's video, I already asked for the 4th one. So with that said, this is a 4-star read. Really did like this book and I love following Janie on her adventures. We've seen her face some of the Grimm fairy tales along with the Christianson fairy tales and now Wonderland. So it'll be interesting to see which ones to go for the next 2. But this ending about broke my heart. Now I'm not one to cry at books and this one didn't have me near tears, but it about broke my heart, that ending. So other than that, that's not much more I want to say on this. I want to be super spoily and I don't want to spoil this as this is the 3rd book in a series. So after that I did pick up some Blood Mercy for a little bit. Finished the chapter I was on. Don't know if I've read another chapter or not, but I got to page 127. So I'm about 18% of the way through. This is a very slow going, very high fantasy book and I'm not too much of a high fantasy reader. I do read a little bit of everything, but most of the time when I read high fantasy, I listen to an audiobook, and this one I can't get an audiobook for it right now. I could go on Audible and probably find one, but I don't have an Audible account, and I don't see myself getting it again anytime soon, so I'm just going to keep on reading the ebook and go from there. Along with that, I did read another chapter or 2 of Witch 13. This one is hard to describe. I'm on chapter 10, about 29% of the way through. Like I said before, this is an e-arc of NetGalley that I'm reading, so, and the book's already out, I think came out in June. I'm very far behind on my arcs. Learn from my mistake, don't do too many at once, and don't let them just sit there and take forever to read them. But with that said, this one is just, it's a very strange and creepy book. I don't know how to explain it because the prologue is one thing and then you get into the main story and it's kind of like how I am right now. It's all over the place sometimes. We have our main character Sterling who we're following, who's the sheriff getting ready to retire from her town police force, and then we have little glimpses here and there of other side characters. And it's hard to pinpoint what exactly is going on, and I don't know exactly what a witch has to do with it. All we know is that this being that looks like a human woman dressed as a witch popping up, and then when she pops up people die. That's all we know so far. And it's with the pictures, it's kind of creepy, the imagery that it's creating, but I am enjoying it. I don't know if it will be a 3 or 4-star. It depends on what the rest of the story is and how the book ends, but with that said, that's all I gotta say for that one. I also read the next 2 chapters, I'm guessing, of My Own Best Enemy, which is just more of a rom-com, kind of a light, fluffy read. It has a plot to it, but it's more lighter than the other 2. One being the high fantasy and the other one being like horror. So with that said, I'm on page 36 of this. I'm about 13% of the way through and I am enjoying it. I do tend to like this one just as much as the first one, so it's just as good, and I'm really enjoying seeing both Emmy and Nash's point of view. And we're getting a little bit more into Nash's psyche and why he doesn't have a girlfriend and why he hasn't tried to get a girlfriend. But with that said, that's still not much to go on. I'm only 5 chapters in, not very far into it. See how it goes and whether it is a 4 or 3-star, if not a 5-star. Also, not so much during the weekend, but this morning while doing chores and stuff, I listened to quite a bit of Tess of Voes by Thomas Hardy. This one is kind of, I'm finding this with a lot of classics. If it's not geared towards children, I don't tend to like them. This is probably going to be a 2 to 3-star read because it's just very I don't know. Like, it doesn't grip me. I don't care what's going on in the story so much. So I'm 43% of this, so hopefully I can finish this week and go from there. Pick up the Charm List again, finish that, get a review out for that, because that's one that I do have an e-arc of, but I picked up the audiobook through the Libro FM so I can read it a little faster, so I can get a review out for that. After I finish Wonderland Woes, actually picked this up like when I woke up yesterday, or like right before I went to when I woke up the first time yesterday. I picked this up while I was up for those few hours. Read about 11-12 pages. Fell back asleep and then read up to page E4. This is a 178 page book. I bet you 4 pages into it. Nancy Drew tends to be a little bit of a hit or miss with me. Some of her books I can fly right through, obviously. Some of them takes a while for me to get into. I've been working through Nancy Drew a little bit since my grandma died. I just slowly picked them up. No, I have one more after this. I have book 12. I need to get to the rest. I've been finding these slowly at like half-price books. I don't pay full price for these, but still, they're hit and miss. But this one is kind of gripping me a little bit. Maybe it's because I haven't read one in so long. I'm not like trying to read one once a month or something like that. That said, I am enjoying this. It's probably not going to be more than a 3 or 4 star rate though. With that said, it's not going to be a favorite. I don't tend to really love mysteries unless it's something that's kind of spooky. And these are just your run-of-the-mill detective stories. I will say though, there is a line in here about one of Nancy's friends, how she's a bigger person than the other one. They talk about how she's slimmer, and it's just old-fashioned writing of how that's mentioned, kind of. And I'm like, really? Do we really have to talk about someone's weight? And then being female. But with that said, not much more to say, especially this being a detective story or mystery story. Don't want to give the mystery away or too much away in this one. Where I'm at now, we are trying to find something from heirloom or something of a girl that Nancy's trying to help. So with that said, that's all I have for this update. That's all I've read this weekend up to this point. I'll see you in another update. Hey guys, here with another update. I did get some more Blood Mercy read. I got to page 137, about 19% of the way through that. I also read a bit of Witch 13. I got to chapter 11, about 30% of the way through that. I also read a chapter of My Own Best Enemy. On chapter 6 now. I'm page 42, about 15% of the way through. Nothing to really add to my thoughts on any of those, really. And I haven't read any more of any of my audiobooks, nor my Nancy Drew book. I got up a little later than I wanted to and kind of just laid in bed because I didn't sleep well this morning. So with that said, I'll probably, after I finish this clip, read a little bit of Nancy Drew, finish getting dressed, and then read some more after that. Grab my stuff to go to work, turn on an audiobook on my way to work, and read e-books when I get on my breaks and stuff. So with that said, that's all I have for this update. I'm going to go read a little bit before I have to finish getting ready, and then head to work. Here is another update. I've read a little bit of Blood Mercy, got to page 140, finish up the chapter I'm on, and then go on to Witch 13. I also read just about 56% of Tess of Ottervilles by Thomas Hardy. It's okay. I have like a little over 6 hours left. I'll probably read a little bit more tomorrow or later on today while I clean, and I'll make a mute to work. I also read to page 100 in The Clue of the Broken Locket. Where I'm at now, Nancy had just found the other half of the locket that the person who's staying at the cabin she's staying at, who asked her to help solve this mystery she's trying to figure out of a family heirloom. But overall, it's a quick read. Like, before I went to work, I read like 20 pages or so, and that was just within like maybe 30 minutes, and I read 10 pages here, not like within 15 minutes or something like that. Didn't have as much time as I wanted to read after work. Get the chili started. I was supposed to do that yesterday, but your girl forgot. I got the chili going, and before I lay down, I'm gonna go make a list of chores that I need to get done when I wake up. With that said, that's all I've read since the last update. Here is another update, and if I seem distracted, I have a cat in here with me. So when I went to bed, I finished reading my chapter of Blood Mercy. I am on page 142 out of 742, so about 20% of the way through. We just had a kind of like a celebration festival and whatnot, and we just had Cass, our main female character, have to kind of bow down to her father and brother because she's a bastard child, basically. Her father's the king, but she was born out of wedlock, and they kind of look down on her. But other than that, not much has happened besides her kind of fooling people and talking to the other people that she's not supposed to. But other than that, not much happened. I read the next chapter in Witch 13, so I'm on chapter 12. About 31% of the way through. That last one was weird because our main character, Sterling, sees the witch and kind of confronts her, but like, it's just weird. But it's intriguing. I also read a bit of My Own Best Enemy. I read Nash's chapter, which is just him kind of going after Emmy while they're at the gym and kind of starting a meeting to get donation for his charity and his work and whatnot. But Emmy kind of yelled at him because he's not supposed to be there. He's kind of following her, but he has other motives as well. He wants to check on her because in the chapter before she had fallen and he's afraid she hit her head. So he's kind of looking after her, but he's not letting her know. He's kind of being sneaky, and there's this tension between them from when they were in elementary school. He did something back then that kind of made Emmy look to be a certain way, and she got picked on all through school because of it. So she hasn't forgiven him for that, and she keeps bringing that up. But along with that, I've been listening to Tess. We got to 75%, so I have a little over 3.5 hours left. So I'll read a little bit more of this to work and on the way home. And then probably when I go, I don't know if I'll be doing anything after work, so I'll probably end up reading Nancy Drew after work. So I'll probably get a little bit more of that read between updates. But other than that, I read a few pages. I think only 4. Yeah, 4 pages of Nancy Drew. I'll read a little bit more of this before I get dressed for work and before I head out for work. But other than that, I haven't read much of it. Nancy's doing her sleuthing around and trying to figure out what's going on. She figured there's another like hidden door to the lodge where she's staying at, and she's trying to figure out multiple mysteries. You have the like kind of like a ghost ship. Why is that showing up suddenly? You have the locket and then the iron bird. I'm trying to figure out all that and how it all kind of connects, if it connects, and what's going on and what's causing all of this. But like I said, I'm only 100. I only read 4 pages. I'll read a little bit more. I only have about 74 pages left, so we'll see how fast I read this. If I do another 20 pages tonight and then 10 pages each day, should be done by Friday, and I'll be able to pick something else up over the weekend. If not, I'll probably finish it over the weekend. It's not a big deal. That said, that's all I have for this update, and I'm gonna go read some more before I gotta get dressed for work and then head out. Hey guys, here with another update. I did read the next chapter in Blood Mercy. More of the King's Festival for his son, his heir. Not really much happened. I also got to 79% of Tess of the Roth. Again, not really enjoying it. I'll probably end up getting rid of the book after I finish it. It's more of like trying to find a husband type thing, and it's just not for me. I feel like the ones that are more like romance heavy of the classics I don't like. I like more of the adventures. Other than that, not much to say on it. Excuse me. Page 130 in here, so I'm getting closer to the end. I haven't decided if I want to just finish this tonight or finish it later on, because I have like 48 pages left, so I either finish it before bed or finish it tomorrow before bed, because I doubt I'll finish it before work. But that said, so far Nancy is starting to piece together what's going on, and she and another character almost gets kidnapped. But with that, I find it funny with her. It seems like the police doesn't want to help, and they just kind of like shrug her off. A lot of times because she's a girl, but it feels like they don't do their job. Like, someone says they've been attacked or had their cabin or house or whatever been broken into, you'd think the police would be like trying to find something out, but they're like, we don't have any leads, we didn't see anything, we didn't find anything. It's like, you really can't do your job or you really don't care. So with that said, that's all I have for this one, for this update. Hopefully later on today I can say, hey, I finished one or two of these books. I'm gonna go take a bath and read some more Nancy Drew, and then when I lay down I'll read Witch 13, and if I'm still awake after I get the next chapter of that done, I'll go to My Own Best Enemy. With that said, I'll see you in the next update. Another update. So far I read the chapter in Witch 13, so I'm on chapter 13, about 34% of the way through. I also read a little bit over chapter of My Own Best Enemy, so I'm on page 63, 23% of the way through that. The last scene was Emmy's point of view, and we see her and Ash run into each other once again, and they are starting to figure out Mac and Brooke has kind of set stuff up a little bit. They want them to make up. Also listened to more of Tess about 94% of the way through. I have just under an hour left, so hopefully tomorrow I can finish this and be done with it, because I'm over it already. They just now thrown in a child that's no one knew about, but it's like I said, I don't think I like romance in the classics and stuff. I like more of the adventure ones, so this one just wasn't for me, so I'm gonna just get rid of it after this, because it's definitely won't reread it. I did read 10 more pages of Nancy Drew this morning before I went to bed. Also, after I got up, I read another 8 pages or so of it, and since the last update, not much has happened. Nancy's still trying to figure out what's all going on and everything, and every time she gets the cops involved, they can't find anything. So we'll see what happened. I have about 30 pages left of this. I'll probably read at least another 10 or 20 pages before work, and then probably finish it when I get home in the morning. So with that said, I'll probably get this finished sooner than later, so I can start the next book, which I don't know what it's going to be. I'll just go to my TBR pile and pick from there. But with that said, that's all I have for this update. I'm going to go read some more and then finish getting ready for work. Read a little bit more after that, head to work, and if I have time on my breaks and mental capacity on my breaks, I'll read some of Blood Mercy. So with that said, see you in the next one. Hey guys, here with another update. First off, I did finish Nancy Drew, book 11, Clue of the Broken Locket. These books are very formulated. Our character Nancy finds, stumbles into a mystery one way or another, whether it's through her father or she's just traveling down the road one day and comes across something. And then she sleuths around, figure out what's going on. Sometimes there's multiple mysteries going on that are somehow interconnected, and then she also will have her friends help her. And in the end, it kind of all just gets to wrap up in a little bow. Everything gets threaded together and everything comes into place. With that said, I did enjoy this one a little bit more. It was more of a faster read for me than the last 2 or 3. I don't remember. I don't know if it's because I read those so close together or too far apart. It's just I haven't read a Nancy Drew book in a while, so it kind of felt refreshing a little bit. With that said, I'll probably give this anywhere from a 3 to a 4 star. Figure it out by the time I update Goodreads. With that said, that's all I have on this one. I also finished Tess of Urgeville. That one I just couldn't care less about by the time I finished it. It wasn't for me. Probably give it a 1 or 2 star. I don't know yet. I also started listening to The Charmless again, so I'll listen to that some more later on today, as well as when I go to work. Maybe if I don't decide to listen to music. I did read the next chapter in Blood Mercy. That was a really short chapter, so there's not much that happened in that chapter, really. And then I read a little bit of the next chapter in Witch 13. And this one, our main character, Sterling, has captured the witch, and she's lying to her deputy in saying his wife's fine when she's not really fine. So I'm waiting for that to come around and bite her in the ass. But other than that, not much to say about that. So that's all I have for this update. So I'll see you later in the next one. Read like a page or two in the Geography of Me and You by Jennifer A. Smith. When I picked this up, I was still tired, so I just wanted something to read in the bath and didn't read very much. Also didn't read very much of Witch 13 before I went to bed. I think I only read like maybe a couple pages worth of anything. I did, however, listen to The Charm List by Julie Abe. I'm 22% of the way through that. This is, so far what's happened is we've met our main character and I'm guessing multiple love interests, some side characters. Our main character has magic, and like most folks with magic, the non-magic folk are not allowed to know about it. So she's been seeking, like kind of sneaking around behind one of her friends' back because she doesn't know anything about magic. But she has this like rivalry going with her neighbor who has magic as well. And they used to be friends, but something happened in their past that he kind of just distant. She's trying to overcome her fears right now, and she's went on a roller coaster just now and she's deathly afraid of roller coasters, which I can relate. I won't go on roller coasters. I'm scared to death of them. But her reasoning is because when she was like 6, her uncle, who's a thrill seeker, he took her on one and it was way too fast for her and it went in too high and everything, and for 6 years old she reacted like most 6-year-olds would. She peed her pants. She got scared to death, and I guess he kind of made fun of her or something. And as an adult, you don't make fun of children, especially if you don't know how they'll react to it. But she was on the ride with someone who she likes, and he made a comment, oh, this roller coaster is for babies. So I don't care if a roller coaster is for babies or whatever. If someone's scared of a roller coaster, even a baby roller coaster is going to scare them to death. You have to think of other people. Anyhow, I'm going to go cuddle this little one some more and see you in the next update, which probably will be the last one. This is going to be more of a quicker update because I haven't read too much. The only thing I read any more of is The Charm List, which I'm about 54% of the way through. I have a little over 2 hours left to read. To listen of it. So far I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot better than the last one I've listened to. This one, you have magic, you have kind of a second chance, kind of hate to love, kind of friends to lovers. Not much really to say on it. The way my brain's working right now, I'm tired. So with that said, I'm probably going to end this video here, like I said earlier. So with that said, next week there won't be a weekly reading update since it's Thanksgiving week and everything. But I probably will be pre-filming some videos for next month. So with that said, that will be all for this video. I'll have all the books I mentioned down below, along with my Goodreads, Instagram, and my blog. With that said, have a wonderful day. Read what you love. Bye.